All right, audio check time. Audio check time. This is my audio check time. This is where you get to chirp in and tell me if the audio is cool. Let's see. Here's what I'll do for audio test. I think I'll try this. I'd like to hold my head up and be proud of who I am. But they won't let my secrets go untold. I paid the debt I owed them, but they're still not satisfied. Now I'm a branded town out in the cold. All right, 2 minutes. 2 minutes, we'll go live. We are on YouTube tonight. And on Facebook. Hey, good evening and welcome to Express Shots. My name is John. It is Wednesday and pretty close to 7 o'clock. Maybe not exactly 7 o'clock, but it's pretty darn close. So if you're watching tonight, you are watching exclusively on Westport TV, or you are watching on YouTube. I've downsized it to those two channels just to make things a little bit simpler on this end. So Westport TV, welcome. And if you're on YouTube, welcome as well. I'm going to follow along tonight on Westport TV. Don't have a moderator tonight. I'm just doing it alone. And yeah, so welcome to the show. As always, before we get started, I always like to know what people are up to and you know what they're drinking or what's in their cup. So Let's find out what's in your cup. What is in your cup? Well, I can tell you what I'm having in my cup. I'll turn this second audio down and turn this guy off here so we don't sound like we're drinking our... Heather's having a latte. I'm having a cup of decaf coffee. I figured I would need it. Fred's watching. Well, triple berry smoothie. Sweet. That sounds good. I'm just going to step out of the scene for 1 second and adjust this light because tonight is going to be primarily a dark roast. We're not going to get into any anything else. Really just going to dive right into a dark roast. So I'm just going to adjust my lights. All right, there we go. That's better. Now I look a little bit, darker, a little bit not as bright. Not that I'm bright anyway, but so what's going on? We know, well, you guys got some drinks in your cup. That's a good place to start. What's going on in the village of Westport? Well, I can tell you if you're not from the area, the weather has been very, very mild. So kind of dig in the weather, almost like summer. Thanksgiving came and went. What did you guys have for Thanksgiving? Oh, Janet's having coffee. Frank's having salty water. Well, we'll get to that. Yes, Thanksgiving. What did you have? Turkey, ham, whiskey, wine, apple pie, plum pudding. What did you have? What did you have? Well, we had both ham and turkey, wine and whiskey, and we had everything going on. It was a great time. Lots of family down, and that was a great time. All right, so today we're going to talk, might as well get right into it. And I think what we'll do is, I think I'll run this little dark roast kind of little piece here. Why not get this thing going here? So yes, I thought I would dedicate tonight's dark roast to this branding experience, or this branding experiment, if you will. So if you know, or maybe you don't know, but the village of Westport, I guess the mayor and council have decided to brand Westport because they feel it needs a brand. So I'll just read you, if you have not seen this or read this. So looking for help to develop a Westport brand, community input is needed, October and November. So the dates are here. And what they're, I guess, trying to do is, I'll read off this paragraph. So the municipal branding is more than a website or a logo. A brand is an experience, an emotion, a memory. It communicates, man, it's hard to read the darker. It communicates, let me get this lower here so I can get it, see it in the light. I guess I shouldn't have turned the light so dark, eh? A brand is an experience, an emotion, a memory. It communicates what makes Westport unique and appealing through a combination of visuals and words. A strong brand can help boast economic development, tourism, and a sense of community that residents enjoy. So I feel a bit indifferent to this whole experience because I'm not sure how I feel about being branded. I'm not sure how I feel about my town being branded. And I'm not sure how I feel about the council branding my town, my business, my home, my family, where I live, with a brand. How do you feel? I want to get your. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just taking this the wrong way. But I don't feel like the community lacks a sense of community neighborhood. That's why people come to Westport, and that's why people return to Westport. Now, if it was just a tagline that they're trying to create, that tagline to put on their signs that need to be replaced, the faded signs that exist coming into the village, if there was just a tagline to put on those, I understand that. I wouldn't have a problem with it. But this whole branding concept, and I know big cities do this, and I'm just not sure why we are doing this. So if anybody's out there on council, or maybe the mayor's watching tonight, enlighten me. Help me out. Help me understand what we are doing. So I came up with a couple brands. I thought, I might as well throw my hat at it. Hold on, I'm read this here. Yeah, no, exactly. It just kind of came from nowhere. But let me pull up a few that I was working on here. Here's a good one. Let me just crank this one up here. How about this one? More barking than parking. Anybody like that one? More barking than parking? I don't know. I thought maybe that one might work. Janet totally agrees. Yeah, Janet, I mean, you and Marty live up there, and you guys are out all the time having fires and having a good old time. I mean, that's what it is, man. What, I guess my question is, what are we selling here? Are we, is it, are we selling the village to the tourism? Are we selling the village to developers? What exactly are we doing? What's the point of this? I'd really like to know. I'd really like to know what the purpose of branding Westport is, because I think Westport has a pretty strong brand already, and it's really that old world charm that Westport has. So anyway, I've got a few more I'm gonna throw up here. Throw up. I feel like I'm gonna throw up in my mouth when I'm talking about this whole subject, actually. But anyway, let me clear my throat and get a shot of coffee. Get a shot of coffee. Okay, here's some other ones that I thought might work. Yeah, I agree, Fred. If any of the four candidates are watching tonight, and I guess shortly enough they'll be involved in this or very close to the tail end of this, I'd like to know what their thoughts are. And I wish they would just kind of park this thing until we had a new council, but it feels like it's being rammed up our ass real fast. And again, sorry for being so blunt tonight, but that's just the way I feel. This is a dark roast, and it's not going to get much darker than this on Espresso Shots Live. So anyway, here's a few other ones that I came up with. You might like these ones. So we have, and they might be small for you guys to read, but how about this one? Westport, transparent enough. Or how about this one? Dark skies. Our street lights aren't that bright. Westport. Or let's make Westport good enough again. Or how about this one? Westport, at least we're not Delta. Or how about the Westport Elite? Or how about Westportant? Or how about, hey, I've moved to Westport, now what? Or here's the one on the bottom with the beer mugs. More bylaws than people, Westport. I don't know. Just a couple that popped into my head. What's wrong with Westport? Maybe that should be the tagline, Bob. What's wrong with Westport? I'm just trying to follow along, but man, I really have a bad taste in my mouth about this, and I'd like somebody to explain it to me. I'd like somebody to come out here tonight, whether you're a counselor that's running for this position, or whether you're a counselor that's sitting in your chair right now, watching this, scratching your head, going, I'm not sure if I should comment because it might not be a good thing. I think you should. I think this is a great opportunity for you to explain to me what we are doing here in the village. What are we branding? What are we selling? What's for sale? What's the big red bow wrapped around everybody for? Am I missing something or not? Now, I understand we all want, to extend the tourism season. We'd like to have things extend into the fall and into the winter months. I get that. I absolutely get that. I'm not sure branding the whole village is going to do that. And normally, when it comes to branding, I know we can, the community, it looks like the 4 counselors and a group of 4 are going to come up with a tagline, but I highly doubt this is going to be done with 8 people. This looks like something that's going to be hired out to a consultant, and money will be spent, and they will tell us what we are and how we should look and how we should be. I don't know. That's the way I see it. That is the way I see it. Westport, yeah, Westport is not Leader Lakes. No, I see like Westport. At least we're not Godfrey. And no offense to people that live in Godfrey. I'm really just kicking stones here. Oh yes, that good one. Home of the largest salt shaker. Did I have that here somewhere? I'm gonna find that and pull that up. Because that's a good one. Give me a moment here. See if I can find that picture. Right here it is. Get rid of this guy. Get rid of this guy here. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Desktop. Yeah, pull that one up. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Oh, I lost it all of a sudden. I lost it. All right. There you go, yeah. The big salt shaker. How about we turn the bottom of that Westport water tower into a salt shaker? We could have the largest salt shaker in Ontario. Anybody that's struggling with sodium issues will know that the salt is something we do better than most communities. We have lots of it. I actually have in my bathtub, and it's only about, I think, 6 or 7 years old. In the drain, there's that little circle, and there's a little metal X that kind of holds the stopper in place. Well, that X is completely corroded away, except for one little piece that's holding it together. The salt has eaten that completely away in about 6 to 7 years. Obviously, we need to get a handle on the sodium in this town, and we need to kind of fix those issues. Probably more than we need a brand. We need some drinking water that we can drink. Just my thoughts. Before we start branding anything, we may want to start resolving some issues that are here for the people that live here and pay their taxes and look after this town when all the tourism and everybody else have gone for the season and we're still here. We should be looked after first before we start branding the village to other people. You should start looking after the citizens that live here and the business owners that live here and pay taxes to keep this municipality operating. So there you have it. Mark Parliament. Yeah, right on, Mark. I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. There are so many steps ahead before branding ever comes into anything. I'm not one to be branded or put into a box. But yeah, any other counselors out there listening tonight and want to chirp in, or anybody have the guts to maybe chirp in on this one right before this election happens. Timing here is like perfect, absolutely perfect. Typical, typical kind of political move. Jam something in when nobody's really paying much attention. Don't give them much time to think about it, because I'm pretty sure the tagline has already written itself. It's just a matter of getting people's personal opinions before they jam it down our throats. So yeah. I would suspect that's already done. So, again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. Maybe I'm having a, where are we here? Let's get this up here.
It's tinfoil hat time.
Oh, how come you didn't play? Hold on, give me a second. I'm going to play this. Okay.
It's tinfoil hat time.
That's my tinfoil hat. I think that this whole thing has already been decided. The paperwork is just something that's coming out as a because they have to. They have to act like they're having some form of transparency. Again, I don't know. Joanne's got a comment here. I'm just going to read it. So go ahead and be with yourselves and chat amongst yourselves. Yeah, Joanne, I have to agree with you. It is changing, and there are forces behind things that are changing. And I know change is inevitable, and that happens. But I just think you need to be a bit more mindful before you have a mouthful. People could probably say that about me tonight. Maybe I should be more mindful. But again, this has come so quick. I've seen it a few times on social media. I tried to dismiss it. I tried not to worry about it. I tried not to think about it. But then I thought, nah, I think I'm going to talk about it, because unless people are talking about it, nobody is talking about it. So tonight is your opportunity to talk about it. And if nobody else is really chatting about it or saying much about it, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just my take on it. I'm not always right, but I do. But normally I am. I like to admit it. Normally I am right. It might take other people a while to learn that, but normally I am right. So, my thoughts. I'm gonna put these back. I'm gonna put these guys back up here. Put me right in the middle of those. Actually, that's too big. Put this back up here. All right. Well, anyway, like I said, if you're on the opposite side of it and you think that we do need to brand it, then you need to go to the website and in 3 words or less describe Westport. What are those 3 words that you'd use to describe Westport? And right now, tonight, those 3 words probably wouldn't be worth saying on the show. Frank says we need more people to speak up. Pass that on to our council. Couldn't agree more, Frank. When people do speak up, they get shouted down, and that's been a trend in this town for a while. And I hope that this one-year election will change that. I hope the candidate that gets the seat is going to stand up to the councils that are there and call them on some of this nonsense, because as a business owner and a resident, it wears thin after a while. You can only take so much before you kind of say, okay, enough is enough. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this nonsense. What's going on? So, thanks, Frank and Mark Parliament, for both speaking up, both running for council, Frank and Mark. Hey, I think voting or pre-voting was today, actually. So I know some people got out and voted. Make sure you get out and vote on on Monday. And when you're voting, and if you haven't decided yet, pick up the phone and call these people that are running. Have a conversation with them about things that are important to you. Don't just go vote because you think this person is your friend or this person has a nice sign. Pick up the phone, have a conversation, say, look, here are my concerns. Here's what I like. Here's what I don't like. What can I expect from the next few months from you? I know the councillor spent a lot of money to run for this short election. A lot of money. A lot of money was put up to run for this position for a year. And I'm hoping whoever gets elected runs for another 4 years. And I'm hoping that there's some change that comes out of this election, because I think we need some change in the village. And I think that, the word transparency wears thin after a while. You hear, oh, transparency, we got to be more transparent, BS. Transparency doesn't mean telling people what has happened after it has happened. That's not transparency. That's covering your tracks. That's not transparency. So anyway, over 100 wrote today. 130. That's a lot. That's good. That's a good sign. Yeah, if there's, I don't know, 700 voters, I think, around there, and 130 wrote today to pre-vote, that's a good thing. Yeah. So if nobody's following on Facebook and they're wondering what the comments were, somebody had commented that maybe Foley Mountain could be like Rush. I'm sorry, like Rushmore, and they could put the 5 faces of the councillors chiseled into the stone up there, so we can see them from down in the village, so we can know that they're watching over us and making sure that we're being good sheep down here and we're following the rules, and and we're sticking to the brand. God forbid we wear a different color shirt around if it's if the brand says we got to wear blue, let's wear blue. Yep. Anyway, that is my dark roast for tonight, folks. I don't think Beer Lakes to agree to what, Bob? To the Mount Rushmore? You're just jealous, Bob, because you guys don't have a nice mountain to put any faces on. Sorry, I'm scrolling through the comments. I'm kind of choking on my coffee, and I'm getting way too excited tonight. I'm really not trying to be hard on anybody. It's just, man, this one just rubs me the wrong way. I get rubbed the wrong way from time to time, and often I'll, rant and rave in my head and let it go. But I think this one requires a bit more. And I would suggest, calling your counselors, calling the mayor, and saying, hey, it's like, can you explain this to me a bit better? I don't understand what the purpose of rebranding the village is, or creating a brand, or creating an experience. The experience already exists. Yeah, the signs need to be redone and cleaned up, and maybe a tagline can be added. But to rebrand the whole village, I don't get it. Yeah, good point. Yeah. Well, I think that's about as much dark roasting as I can do tonight. Again, I'm not trying to be Mr. Tinfoil conspiracy hat tonight, but I just think that this one stinks of something. Stinks. You remember when you remember in late August when the sewer system up there was stinking really bad, and people were saying, "What's the smell? What's the smell? What's that stink?" Well, it could have been the beginning of this. Could have been the stink, and now it's actually just flowered into this project. Anyway, it smells. Anyway, peace, love, and coffee. Have a good night. Tune in next week where we will try to be a little bit happier. And maybe if I can, whoever wins the election will come on the show with me tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next Wednesday, and chat a bit. And I invite any of the councilors to come on the show anytime and have a chat with me. Happy to do that anytime. So anyway, I'm out of here. Have a good night. We'll talk to you next week, and enjoy the week. And Halloween's just around the bend. And we'll be carving some pumpkins in the yard, as always, and making the village look fun. Fun. Okay,